was knocking off the top side, and they've set up a cracker today. If they win, they're in, mate. It's as simple as that for Frankie Sampson and the Roos, and like you said, all on the line for Loxton. So, yeah, plenty to play for, and across the ground as well, of course, Waikerie and Loxton North, so looking forward to hearing about that. But broadcast game today, you can't ask for anything better, mate. A little bit overcast, good day for footy, it's good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, not too much breeze to mention at all, really. There really is none, just looking around the place. We were here only 2 weeks ago, Ben. You took the helm with Nobby Norton last Saturday at Renmark. The week before that, we were here. Pretty similar conditions, realistically. Although that day did have a bit more breeze, and we did see a little bit more goal scoring at one end. Yeah,
we did. And, I mean, a lot of that was just the ball gravitating towards Nathan Flight, certainly in the first quarter. And whether we see that again today, who knows. But, yeah, you're right. Not a lot of breeze. So I can't see it favouring too much. But, I mean, what more could you ask for, mate? You want it to be nice, even conditions for these two teams. And, yeah, looking forward to it.
Look, of course, it is 5RM football. We've had some great supporters this year. The Aquatic Weed Control Australia scoreboard attendance there are going to be busy this afternoon. Look, both teams, a bit of an interesting one. Loxton probably a bit more attacking in how they play, a little bit more freer. You probably could say Barmera Monash a lot more structured, but we've seen that get the chocolates a few times this year, and even weeks when we didn't think it was going to happen.
Yeah, and it's almost a worry for the rest of the competition, really. If they can actually get firing at the other end and start piling on a few goals to go with their strong back six, then it could be a bit of a worry for the other teams. But yeah, you're right. Loxton like to move the footy quick, and Barmera is solid down back, so it should be good.
So the ball in the centre, we're about to get underway. The last support staff leaving the field. Umpire puts the ball in the air. Siren sounds, and we are underway. Round 14, Riverland Football League action. Freeman and Fisher do the ruck work. No one gets the clear tap, but Luke Harder gets the first clearance, and Loxton going to the attacking 50 straight up. It's a hot footy early. No one able to really grab it, or a wild kick from D. Michelle. Gets it out to Butterworth, who gets a bit of space and gets the hands out and finds Sullivan, who goes down the line. Now up, out of bounds. Barmera Monash got out of that one not too bad there, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a preview of what we're going to see. Loxton drive forward, and then Barmera Monash set up pretty well and rebound out to the flank. So, yeah, good start. Luke Harder getting the first clearance of the game as well. One to watch today after missing last week.
Yeah, tap down from Fisher from the ball in, but it's D. Michelle that gets the kick and now heads towards Barmera's attacking 50, but intercepted from the Tigers. No. Trent Ogle from Barmera Monash has other ideas. The Roos are looking dangerous here. Aiden Hodson, wild kick on goal, and that didn't make it. Oh, minus score, okay.
On the board.
I thought that might have been out on the full from where I was sitting, but...
I happen to agree with you, but on the Aquatic Weed Control Australia scoreboard, there's a point, Lockie, so we'll roll with that as Loxton bring the ball out through Cale Smith.
Yep, and they try to hit up the target, and they look for Harley Campbell, but Barmera Monash taking the most of their opportunities here with some great intercept work, and they drive the ball out of bounds, and that's a win for the Roos there.
Jacob Evans, pretty strong tackle on Fraser Sampson there, setting the tone early. The young fellow, love to see it.
Umpire's just called something here, and I'm just trying to work out what's going on. It looks like... So the last possession rule, Loxton get the kick, righto, and find Johnny Fisher. So
the ball potentially come off Fraser's shin, perhaps, and they've called it off of that. Hard to say, but Fisher's got the footy. It's a bit of an up and under kick towards the half-forward flank. Talon Eagle's going to fly. Going back with the flight, though, is Mick Mock, the captain of the Roos, and it's going to look like Talon Eagle's going to come away with the free kick, though, so he's just surveying his options, about 70 out from goal.
Drives it to the centre of the 50, flights the target. No one able to... Oh, no, Barmera Monash, well done. Dylan Millard gets the mark.
Who else?
Then the Roos work this one out very quickly.
Interesting in the last couple of weeks, Millard, just adding a bit of depth to that back six that we've talked about already.
Yeah, Aiden Lyon takes the ball wide, and I reckon that's found Hodson on the far wing. Works it up the ground, looks for a target at the forward flank area. No one able to take clear possession, but the Roos managed to pick up the crumbs through Jake Smith. The Roos are on the attack now. Can Freeman take this one? Top of the square, he can. And there it is. Barmera Monash here to play already. Jordan Freeman's going to go back for what could be the first goal of the day.
Strong signs early for the Roos. Nice transition footy on a couple of occasions to set up a few attacks. And yeah, you'd hope Freeman's able to convert from here about 20 metres out. He'll kick from just a slight angle.
Yeah, great bit of play from the Roos there, really getting Loxton on the hop. Freeman on his way, gun barrel straight. And there it is, the first goal of the day. Goes the way of the Barmera Monash Roos here at 5RM Football.
Only early, Lockie, but tiny bit of cause for concern for the Tigers, just letting Barmera Monash get out so easily and just able to hit a few targets down the line. And within a couple of kicks, they've gone from D50 to forward 50 and results in the goal in the Aquatic Weed Control Australia scoreboard. So 1 goal, 1-7 to Barmera Monash, plays the home side. Loxton yet to score.
Yeah, 3 minutes played on the Murray Pest Control clock. And as you said, ball got up to what would look like a regulation contest on the forward flank, but the Roos just made the most of that opportunity, got the quick handball out, clearance out the back, and didn't quite pick up who it was that got that kick away to Freeman, but very good work from the Roos Crummers.
Yep, so a lot of small forwards are going to be their avenue to goal today. Obviously, Reece Lehman's going to be a bit of a focal point, but a lot of Crummers definitely key to the contest as Harder gets the second clearance of the day. So starting well here is the Loxton coach, goes into forward 50, but Barmera players are there to mop up, and Frankie Sampson's going to be the beneficiary. Almost spills the ball, but just finds Benny Drogmuller right in front of the commentary box, and Drogmuller goes forward, looking for Freeman. Just spills the mark, and looked like it was off hands, but it's a mark taken by Deegan Rothy, so Loxton a chance to reset here and just catch their breath a little bit.
Yep, finds Evans, small kick, didn't gain too many metres, but gives the Tigers a bit of a chance to work that one out. Harley Campbell now front and centre, great spot. Finds Fisher, Johnny, and finds Jesse Will, who wheels around, kicks into the 50, and this is where the Tigers can be dangerous. But it's the Roos that managed to pick this one up, and
good pressure from Talon Eagle to get the smother in there. Handballs off to Flight. Flight's tackled pretty quickly by Sampson. Drops the footy, but it's going to be play on. Knapp gathers. There'll be a ball up just inside the forward 50 for the Tigers. So it's going to be interesting how they attack it today, because if they do take their time, then Barmera are the best team in the comp at setting up behind the ball. So you're going to need to move the ball quickly, but it comes with its own risks as well.
So Knapp doing the ruck work. Tigers tried to clear it out, but straight into a brick wall goes Jesse Will, and holding the ball it is. So the Roos through Butterworth. Try on the, what do you call it, the half switch when you go back to the centre. Not quite the full switch. Fraser Sampson on half-back takes the mark. And now this is where the Roos look dangerous. This run off half-back. Great mark there from Lehman. Still in the centre square. Kicks up to the top of the 50. Jake Smith flew. No one able to mark it. But the Roos are on the attack. And there's Dan Wesley. Looking dangerous. The Tigers, can they rush this one over? They can. Ooh. Tigers got out of jail there.
Desperate stuff. Jacob Evans on the line. It's good stuff for the Tigers. Much needed concession of a point there, and 1 goal 2 now to Barmera Monash. And on the attack early, Barmera looking pretty good so far. Key players getting involved as well. You saw Butterworth start that attack in the back 50 and go through the Sampson. Yeah,
and the kick-outs found Lockie Bradley in the back pocket. Just short of 6 minutes played on the Murray Pest Control clock. Here at Loxton this afternoon, 5RM football. Round 14. Oh, and a wild kick up. Just inside, but spills off hands.
Got away with that one, did Drew Kasolki.
I reckon when Drew kicked that, he was hoping for that one to swing back in a bit.
A very clean user of the footy, but metres gained, Lockie, that's all that counts.
If it was a golf hit, you'd call it a slice. Just inboard. So the ball then, Craig Fisher gets his hands on it, but the Roos make the most of it. Great work there from, that was D. Michelle. Big body around the contest. Freeman now tries to mop it up, goes to ground, trying to get the handball out. This is where the Roos have been dangerous so far. The ball out the back, that was Petrole, and
it's like it's hit the post and there'll be another behind. So points starting to stack up. I'm sure they'd rather convert these to goals, but the good news for Barmera is the opportunities are coming and the ball's largely stayed in their half of the ground.
Yeah, Max Petrole there in a great spot out the back of the contest. And the Roos keep this one in. They're keeping this defensive pressure this afternoon, Ben. And this is where they can be dangerous. And Ogle now wheels around, kicks into the 50. Can someone take a clear mark? No. Great bit of defence there from Cale Smith from the Tigers. Got Jacob Evans in there trying to clear it out as well for Loxton.
Again, though, that pressure just winning out from Barmera. So another tackle inside their own forward 50. They get a ball up here in a pretty dangerous spot. Yep. But Loxton, holding up pretty firm.
Yep. Freeman taking a breast for the Roos. On goes Trudgian.
Looking forward to that matchup of Freeman and Fisher today. It's a big traditional ruckman against a mobile one for Barmera, so one to watch.
The Roos got a free here in their 50, so I'm not sure what that might have been for. It was just sort of a bit of a loose ball around the play, and then all of a sudden, Barmera get the free.
So Aiden Hodgson, 9 up on goal. It's been an important one. 2 goals early.
Tight angle, ball on the way.
Not a bad kick, just drifting to the left.
And there's a mark there.
There is. It's like it's Jake Smith.
It
He's
is.
come away with the footy.
So he takes the footy out, an even tighter angle on the other pocket now for a shot on goal.
Just using every bit of his experience there, I reckon, Smith.
Loxton pretty smart here and cutting down this angle to wheel around. So he's going to have to, takes a step.
Left foot check side. Just
into the post.
Smacked into the woodwork.
A minor score for the Roos. That takes it out to 1-4.
1-4.
Yeah.
5 scoring shots to zip so far.
Yeah, Jordan Freeman, the only goal scorer thus far, and subsequently the clubhouse leader for the Surf to Suit goal of the day.
Yeah, he's got it penciled in for now.
Here's Loxton now on the attack as they bring this one out. There's Knapp, but chased down by the Roos. Got a kick away. It was Sullivan that did the hard work there.
Didn't give up at all. Knapp was streaming away. Loxton were out. Then Sullivan's done well to hold him up. Now he's going to have to trudge back to the half-back line and go again. But, yeah, great chase-down tackle and just held him up enough. So we'll get the ball in just outside. Was probably going to throw it into the forward 50 for Loxton. I'm not sure if that counts as a stat. There it is. Knapp with the tap down. Only as far as a Barmera player, but Lockie Evans with a solid tackle, so we'll get another ball up.
Yeah, that was young Jacob. That might have been
Sammy Wonderberg, who was the late inclusion on the team sheet.
So wrapped up again, and he's got another possession, but
rocking the long sleeves today. Don't mind the two-tone Barmera long sleeves. No, it's been an interesting discussion point this year.
Yeah, good tap from Knapp, but it's the Roos that clear it out of their defensive 50, and they've got some loose players in the middle of the field. It's Jamison Whitbourne, I reckon, there. He kicks up to the top of the 50, but Loxton, and we see this again, this, what do we call it, ping-pong footy, where it's between the half-backs and Loxton now. That's Lockie Evans' first touch of the day, I reckon, and he's got a 25-metre penalty.
Yep, so against De Michel, just encroaching over the mark and just trying to hold him up a little bit too much. So be another 450 entry to Loxton here. Evans has found a target in Talon Eagle, and he's hit him with a good spoil there. By Sullivan again, who's affecting the contest quite a lot. So the Roos another chance to break away, but there's Loxton players around the footy as well. Salmon comes up with it, dodges a couple and scrambles a kick off the side of the boot into the 50. Sam Butterworth, Barmera co-captains there to mop up. Run around in circles a little bit, but a bit of composure out to Dylan Millard, who fumbles the footy. Fraser Sampson's there to clean up. Barmera just scrambling a touch, but they get a kick out. Looks like it's only going to go as far as Talon Eagle, but Trent Ogle's flown at that contest and caused a spoil. And again, Loxton are going to go for it. Johnny Fisher there as well.
Yeah, Johnny Fisher's in there. Whitbourne's in there for the Roos, and he takes another crack at it.
Hot footy, Lockie.
And they just dive on it and hold it in. And the Roos, once again, they are winning these 50-50s this afternoon. These, what would you call them, pressure points, where the ball could be just a little bit, one handball one way or another could result in a pretty quick clearance. But I'm going to call it the Roos are winning them so far.
Oh.
Loxton get the kick out, but it's a wild kick away, and it's found the cricket pitch in the middle. Fraser Sampson's there for the Roos, and now D. Michelle's running hard. He gets a quick handball out, and here he is again, Sam Wondenberg with the long sleeves. Gets a handball out as he was tackled. Umpire says holding the...
so he's done it illegally. Looks like he's paid the throw, and then there's a bit of back chat as well, so it'll be another 25-metre. Looks like he's stacking them up, so I think it's going to be a 50-metre penalty here against the Roos. So Harley Campbell's got the footy for Loxton, and he's... could be within scoring distance, potentially right on the edge for the youngster here, so they might look to give it off, but he's not short on confidence, is Harley. So he might have a crack himself. Just a little bit of ill-disciplined stuff creeping into it. Luke Harder, the coach, has run past for the handball receive, and look at that, the class of Harder finds Talon Eagle about 40 metres out, so definitely within goal distance for Talon here, and look to get Loxton on the board for their first of the day.
Yeah, look... Luke Harder could have easily just blazed away there and bombed it in, but...
Just check the kick a little bit.
Just saw Talon Eagle in the corner of his eye and got it away, and great mark there, and great presence of mind from Harder there just to get that one to Talon Eagle. So this is for Loxton's first score of the day.
This is Nobby Norton's favourite player here.
He likes it. Talon Eagle. Ball on the way.
Not a bad kick, but it's just drifted to the right-hand side. So Loxton's still yet to register a goal, but they are on the board with a point in the Aquatic We Control Australia scoreboard.
So 12 and a half minutes played, and the Roos bring this one out, and it's found Mock, about 20 metres out from the goal line, in defence for the Barmera Monash Roos. Just wheels it back around and finds Butterworth, kicks up the line, looks for Freeman. Oh, great spoil there. Warner. The Tigers try to bring this one in, but the Roos, presence of mind, good in defence. Butterworth gets a handball out. And they bring this one back down. Got it to Sullivan, I reckon it was there. And just out of bounds it goes. And that's Sam Wundy there, I reckon, the number 6.
Johnny Fisher with the footy now for Loxton. Tries to go the big switch out to Salmon. Fraser Sampson's there as to affect the spoil, though. But coming in is Drew Kasolki to clean up for the Tigers, and probably important that he was there because if that spilled out to the Roos, they were off. So another ball up right on the bowling crease of the cricket pitch. Don't like coming back here, Lockie. I said that last time. Lost enough grand finals here.
Yeah, not a big fan.
Both ovals. Very good.
And it's hasn't gone too far, and we're going to get another ball up here right on the cricket pitch.
Good length.
So both ruckmen there taken out of the play there, and another ruck contest took place. Umpire Todd Charlton said play on. But just another stoppage and we'll go again.
So you look at Mock in the back 50 for the Roos. He's just floating square in the middle of that defensive 50, so he's ready for that quick kick out.
D. Michelle read that beautifully out of the contest. He got the handball out, and I reckon the Roos will get a free here for a high. Yes, they will.
It's like Sullivan again with the footy. High tackle from Jacob Evans. So Sullivan again to reload for the Roos. Goes out wide. Hits the target. Look, he's with the binoculars.
That's Bonnie.
Yep, there you go.
Bonnie down. Finds Drugamullah. Drugamullah decides not to handball and kicks inboard. Looks for a target. Looking for Trudgian, number 9. Unable to mark it. The Tigers will get the kick on half back. And that's a Knapp. Small kick sideways to Harder. But as the umpire, no. Back to Knapp.
Another 25.
Yeah, okay, so it's got to go back to Knapp there.
What are we up to? 4 for the Roos, I think, against in the first quarter.
And Knapp wastes no time. Kicks into the attacking 50, but great intercept mark from the Roos.
Sullivan's been best on ground so far by a country mile. I reckon he would have had 10 intercept possessions.
He takes it sideways to Butterworth, gets it out to Drugamullah. Just hold station on the back flank. Brings it back into Bonnie. Yeah, you're right. Sullivan, possessions-wise, and possessions that mean something.
Absolutely.
That's a new stat we've got.
Possessions that we're going to have to find a catchier name for that by the end of the day.
Useful disposals would be another one.
I think they're called effective ones.
It's all well and good to have. It's all well and good to have 60 possessions, but if 58 of them are rubbish, well, it doesn't really make an impact on the game, does it?
Exactly.
As we were chatting, the Roos have taken this inboard. They're attacking 50. Can they get another goal out of this one? A handball out the back. Reece Lehman tried to paddle on the ground, got a hand on it just.
Still working his Reece. Lockie Evans has got the footy though, so he's going to go out wide. Harley Campbell's the option there. So it's whether they go quick. Harley Campbell's just a short kick down the line.
Yeah, finds Lockie Bradley, I reckon that is. 20. Oh no, that's brings it back up board. Finds Rothy. Just in front of us here at the grandstand. Here at Loxton this afternoon, Riverland football on 5RM. Small kick from Rothy, looks for Knapp. Unable to mark it. D. Michelle, another very good handball. Gets a loose hands out to Wundenberg. In the umpire say play on. Holding the ball, they've gone. And, Barmera Monash are going to get the free here. Righto. So, Barmera Monash have got the free on the half forward. That's Trudgian.
Holds the ball up. I think it's a bit of a signal. I think this one's coming in pretty high and long, and it does. But Loxton there to set up, and Luke Harder read like a book. Takes a nice intercept mark, and he knows he's going to have to go quick, so he tries to switch the play out to Johnny Fisher, hits the target. So the Tigers trying to build something here on the far flank. Johnny Fisher's got the ball again, goes past one Barmera player, still got the footy, goes forward, hits his target on the wing.
That's Man. Up the line. And great mark there from Jacob Evans.
It's another name we've called a bit. He goes to Kasulki.
Small kick. We're going a few pitching wedges here. A few little chipping wedge rather, out of the sand trap. Kicks into the attacking 50. But the Roos once again get their hands on it first. Can Loxton make something of this? They dive on it, hold it in.
It looks like it'll be a ball up. So this is a good chance for Loxton here. It's harder to set up from a contest, from a stoppage inside the 450, so a bit of chaos might do him a bit of good here. Knapp wins the tap, goes forward, tries to find a Loxton player, but Barmera there, ready to swoop, and they've locked it in again, so it'll be another ball up as Sam Butterworth's just taking a breather on the Barmera bench here.
So it's 17.5 minutes played, first quarter Riverland Football League action on 5RM. Barmera clear it out of the 50, great kick from Drugamullah, but finds Loxton in the middle of the field.
Deegan Rothy, I think that was. So Mason Warner's got the ball now, wheels around, tries to get on the right foot. But a great smother by Trudgeon, and he's got a paddock in front of him if he can collect the ball, but struggling to pick it up just inside the centre square. Intelligent tap out to Drogamuller, and there's a contest one out here right at full forward. I think it's Jake Smith for Barmera. He's just been absolutely manhandled, and he's going to get a free kick for his effort. So Jake Smith has won the free kick. He'll go back from exactly the same spot that Jordan Freeman had the first shot on goal for the game, and you back Smith in to kick this one as well. So big chance for Barmera here.
Certainly is. He missed one ball. He hit the post before. Can he make this one? Not far from... Oh!
That is... He will not want to watch that back, and neither will his coach. That is an absolute coach killer.
It's
genuine shank right through the middle of the behind. So again, Barmera going forward and the golden chance, but unable to take advantage. So another point in the Aquatic Weed Control Australia scoreboard. Is that... What are we? 1 goal 5, 1 goal 6? What are we up to? I think it's 5 according to the scoreboard.
Yeah, 1-5, I reckon.
Not good.
Hey, Loxton bring this one out. Clear it out of half-back, or just. This is where it's been intercepted a few times this afternoon. Up to centre wing on the far side. Can Loxton make something of this? Barmera managed to hold it in, hold up play and lock it down. Very good at this, Barmera, Monash. Very good.
It started, but bar the accuracy, I think it started exactly how Fraser Sampson would have wanted it to so far.
So kick out of the ball in, or ball up rather. Great mark on half-back there from Cale Smith.
Just edge Freeman out of it there, very intelligent.
Very dependable defender, Cale Smith, over the years.
He's actually been really good playing this role this year. He's sort of in and out of the team to start with, but he's played a really big role in probably the last month and a half of footy.
So another stoppage. We'll have a ball up just on the corner of the centre square. Freeman takes the ruck. No one wanted to have a go from Loxton. Finds its way through Spilios up to half forward. And there's Trudgeon again. Trudgeon wheels around, kicks to the square. Can someone mark it from Barmera Monash? Punched over the line.
I think Dean Michelle gave himself a fair bit of space to run up and try and take a hanger, but I think it was coming in a bit flatter than they expected. So no chance for a fly, but there is a chance for Barmera here. There's going to be a ball in, probably only 20 metres out from goal. So another one here would go a long way to a happy coach at quarter time, no doubt. But it's Loxton with the clearance out of the back 50, but it's only going to go as far as Jake Smith. So Barmera with another chance to reload here just outside the forward 50. So
Jake Smith with the footy. Too far out of his range, I'm going to call it from here. He wouldn't be able to kick that. Decides to go to the pocket.
Not if he kicks like his first set shot, he won't, for sure.
Had a bit of the footy this afternoon, Jake Smith.
Just always dangerous around that 450. Just such a clever footballer.
Into time on in the first quarter. Just over a minute left to run on the Murray Pest Control clock. It's the Travelling Roos that have the lead, 1-5-11. Loxton just the one behind. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Just quietly, Ben.
What's giving that away, mate?
Can tell a lot about a footy game by the first quarter.
And the scoreboard.
Yeah.
So, very good.
So Loxton managed to go back into traffic. This is very dangerous for Loxton.
But Jacob Evans, though, cool head on his shoulders. Young shoulders they are, but does well to almost get him out of trouble. But you're right, mate. Loxton keep trying to switch the play across goals, and a missed kick is actually conceded a point for the Tigers. I don't think that was the intention, but they do get a chance to catch their breath with about 30 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Not a lot of contenders for the Growers Services Riverland Mark of the Day as yet, Lockie.
No, Luke Harder's one on half-backs, probably...
Well, I'm happy to give it to him for now.
Yeah, I think he's the clubhouse leader for the Growers Services Mark of the Day, but...
Don't take this the wrong way, Luke, but I hope you get beat if that's the best effort today. We're left wanting a little bit.
It's very much just a regulation defensive mark. Still, there was a bit of a contest around it. The ball manages to get its way to the far wing, but doesn't go too far, and with only 11 seconds to play this quarter, I don't think is going to see any more action on the Aquatic Weed Control Australia's scoreboard. 1-6-12 plays one behind, the home side trailing as the siren sounds in a second. There it is.
Nailed it, Lockie.
At 5am football, it's the travelling Barmera Monash Roos that lead 1-6-12 to the Loxton Tigers, just one behind. We better go back to Trevor Scott in the Sideline View studio and find out what is happening around the Riverland Mallee this afternoon. Trevor, back to you, my friend.
and got plenty of quality players. So there is a chance that it comes back to bite them. But if I'm Fraser Sampson at that quarter time huddle, I'm pretty happy with how the first quarter's played out.
Yeah, look, Barmera Monash pretty good off half back. Loxton, I reckon, are probably winning the centre clearances, but it's not really impacting Barmera Monash all that much because once it gets into their defensive 50, they're able to clear it out with relative calmness, as opposed to Loxton, where when they're clearing it out of their defensive 50, it's scenes of chaos, basically, I'm going to call it. But they've managed to get out of them a few times, but some back into traffic, it just doesn't look good.
I think you can put down a lot of that, though, to how Barmera is set up, and it forces them to take those risks and maybe try and find kicks that aren't there, Lockie. So it probably looks a lot worse than it is, but a lot of the credit goes down to Barmera's sort of back six, and even the midfielders, like you see Sammy Butterworth drifting back a few times and cleaning up back there, and Mick Mock sits in that hole and looks really good. So, yeah, look, Barmera's organisation definitely come to the fore early, but there's a lot of footy left to be played, mate.
Certainly is. Ball back in the centre. The last supporters leaving. A lot of people here at Loxton today. It is Sponsors and Ladies Day, I found out today, Ben. So quite the crowd in attendance, which is good to see. Siren sound, second quarter underway. Luke Harder charging through there, but unable to pick up the footy on the way.
I like that. Set the tone.
It was like a freight train there.
I wouldn't be sitting in the way of that, mate. No chance.
Umpire says I'll have another ball up. No one able to take it. Barmera Monash get a wobbly kick through. Drugamullah finds its way to half forward. Great bit of play there from Patrole. Roos trying to go through a bit of traffic. Great stuff from Hodgson. Hodgson looking for Smith up forward. Unable to mark it. Ball spills to the ground over the back. But here's Smith back on the deck. Off the ground. Oh, that would have been the goal of the day for Surf to suit Loxton.
How good was that little bit of play from Hodgson? Dodges one, dodges two. Not a bad kick either. Just Smith didn't quite get both hands to it. But, yeah, another strong start from the Roos, mate.
Seen Jake Smith play for a few years, and I never thought I'd see the day where he is the power forward. But I like it. Played a lot in the midfield through the years. Loxton bring this one back out. 1 minute played on the Murray Pest Control clock in this second quarter. Great bit of work from Drew Kosolki. Gets a handball out to Fisher. Tigers try to work this one out. Warner takes the ball back inboard. Now it's through to Salmon. Takes a bounce. Handball over the top to Johnny Fisher. This is the old Crows link-up handball system going. He looks for flight. Unable to mark it, but got a second bite at it.
Crack at that.
Handball's back over the back, but it went straight to Barmera Monash stalwart in Dylan Millard. And then it's found its way through Di Michelle, and the Barmera Monash Roos have gone on the quick switch here, and they are looking very dangerous. There's Patrole with the footy, unable to mark it. Can Loxton make something out of this? Handball's back in board, and there's Aiden Hodgson for the Roos. Does the fend off. Kicks into the attacking 50. Turn around, Trent Ogle. Kick the goal, lad. This will be the second of the day. That.
Do you think he had more time than he thought?
He had
absolute paddock.
He had a decade of time there. I mean, I know that's exaggerating, but yeah, voice is a big thing in footy. He could have ran in an extra 15 metres there. But great presence of mind nonetheless, and a great position Trent Ogle found himself in. Yeah,
absolutely. And, you back him to kick that most days of the week. But, yeah, unfortunate. Another behind for the Roos. Loxton, just that play, set of play before, just out on this near wing right in front of us, that was electric. And I think that's probably the blueprint and how they need to score today. They've got to catch Barmera out a little bit. But it does come with its risks, as we saw the ball go back the other way straight away.
Yeah, how was Aiden Hodgson with their fend-off,
It's probably as good a start to the second quarter as you could have hoped for him.
Great to see. The Roos now go back on the attack. There's Drugamullah. He's got a couple. Runs into the goal. Kicks from 45. And that's the story of the day, a minus score. We are yet to bring up the behind of the day, thanks to whoever. But
oh boy,
if your business wants to get on board Fiver and Football, this afternoon to be a great day to be a behind of the day sponsor.
Plenty to choose from in the behinds section, but still, Jordan Freeman leading the way in the Surf to Suit Loxton goal of the day. The only major of the afternoon so far, but I'm hopefully, Lockie, that changes soon.
So Barmera Monash have taken the score out to 15, but we'll just reiterate, it's 1-9, leading Loxton, one behind. Barmera Monash now kicking to the Bookpurnong Road end.
That's hit the moon on the way in, that 450 entry, and it's set up, and plenty of Loxton players there. Luke Harder's there to clean up, and he finds Drew Kosolki on the flank in front of us here, Lockie. So Loxton, again, another chance to go forward. Kosolki it's a better kick than the one before, I tell you that, because he's nailed it straight to Luke Salmon. So the ball just in front of the Barmera Monash bench.
Salmon brings it back inboard slightly, looks for Knapp, but great defensive work from Barmera Monash, and they punch it forward. Got Jack Albrecht in there having a crack. Now Harder manages to pick up the crumbs, gets it back to Salmon, brings it back inboard and finds Harder, who was wrapped up straight away by Spilios, taken to ground, and that's holding the ball. Great pressure, Spilios and Butterworth there.
I reckon,
Harder and Butterworth.
Harder just holding him up a little bit there. I think that's a little bit of gamesmanship, but it's almost worked. But Fraser Sampson's got the footy now, and he switches it out to Jamison Whitbourne, who's going to have a crack. It's a high kick.
Oh, and that is another behind of the day contender.
Double digits, Lockie. Here we go.
110-16. Barmera Monash leading Loxton, just one behind on the Aquatic Weed Control Australia scoreboard. I'll tell you what, this is getting frustrating. But and we're not even playing. If we're coaching.
Yeah, if we fast forward to the end of this game and Barmera Monash is lost by a kick, then there's going to be some disappointed people.
So the ball up to halfback and it finds Talon Eagle. Good mark. Just hold station for a second. Talon on the left looks up for Chris Knapp. He punched it forward, unable to mark it out of bounds, and we'll get a ball in pretty much in front of us here in the commentary position.
Yep, front and centre, mate. Really good. It's a nice little contest there to watch. Michael Mock when he's lined up on Chris Knapp. Knapp's probably got a few kilos on him and a bit of strength, but Mock's been very important for Barmera this year. So just a little one to watch. That's a nice little match-up there.
So Fisher tapped over the back. Manages to pitch it forward. D. Michelle, some defensive play there. Barmera Monash managed to work this one over, and they've gone on the quick switch. There's Fraser Sampson, dishes it out to Whitbourne. Whitbourne's got a couple, looks up, finds Lehman half forward. He wheels around, kicks into the attacking 50, over the back of Jake Smith. No one able to mark it, but young Vanderwood, can he soccer it through? And that's another minus score for the Barmera Monash Roos. Sam Vanderwood. And that is a 1-goal, 11-17. Barmera Monash leading the Loxton Tigers just one behind.
It's a dirty day so far. We've called him Wonderberg for a quarter, and now he's come on and missed the goal from 10 metres out.
Unlucky young Sam. What I will say, though, is Sam is rocking the zinc cream Australian fast bowler spec.
Oh, it's great stuff.
So it's just great to see in Riverland footy. So Barmera Monash try to bring it back in, but it's found Bradley for Loxton in defence and just goes back inboard. And they're going to go for the switch here. Manages to find...
Well, it's spilled out eventually. There's a big roost out the 50, but there's plenty of Barmera players around, so it's going to come back in. Johnny Fisher there to clean up for Loxton. He gets another handball received, so plenty of the footy for Johnny. Chris Knapp's got the ball now, but Mott wearing him like a glove. And he's been pinned for holding the ball as Chris Knapp, so Barmera another chance through Butterworth. Goes out wide, looks for Hodgson on the lead and gets him. That's a great mark by Aidan Hodgson, who's started this quarter like a house on fire. Probably right on the edge of his distance, the youngster.
And that is a mark of the day contender, purely for the fact he was running full tilt for Grove Services Riverland.
Look, mate, I think we're clutching at straws, but if you're willing to throw his hat in the ring, I'll go with you.
Well, it's him or Luke Harder's defensive mark. Has a shot on goal, and all of 1.5 metres short. Another behind. In terms of worthy behinds, though, that's up there.
Yeah, you're not kicking yourself for not kicking that goal. No. A few of the others, wouldn't want to see again.
That was a 50-50 at best. So it was the limits of his range.
This is what it's come to.
So Barmera Monash have extended the score out even further. Doing it the hard way. And, they managed to hold this 1.5 back. Just short of 8 minutes played on the Murray Pest Control clock, and we'll have a ball up on Barmera Monash's half forward, Ben.
Yep, so the ball goes up right on the edge of Barmera's 450. Chris Knapp's got the footy, tries to get a clearance away, but it only goes as far as the Barmera player, so it's come off the back of him, I reckon, and it's spilled out into congestion again. Sammy Butterworth hands it off. I think that's Hodgson on the far side again. Kicks it straight into the goal square, but good defence there by the Loxton player and just spills over the line. So another behind to Barmera Monash, another rushed behind. Loxton another chance to bring it out of back 50 again.
The 25 for Loxton takes the ball out wide. It may have been a Guernsey change we didn't see, but we will have a look in a second. And finds its way to Lockie Evans. He gets a handball to Harder, who was tackled on half back. And this could be, nope, umpire says play on. Loxton working frantically to clear this out, but Jake Smith got the way of the handball. Can Barmera Monash make something of this? We'd love to see another goal. Harder tackled, holding the ball. And it's a free kick to Jake Smith. He's got the footy on the 50-metre arc. And he'll go back for a shot on goal. Kicking from the far pocket, far flank. Scoreboard side at Loxton. And I think this would be at the absolute limits of his range. But I would have thought he's just going to go to the top of the square. No one's calling for a lead. He wheels around, gives it a bit of a roost off the boot. Minor score. It's a minor score for Barmera Monash, and they go even further in front, albeit in 1 point increments.
Well, it's a 3-goal lead, technically speaking, but it was at 15 scoring shots to 1 now.
Yeah, we crowd here are calling it ridiculous, it must be said.
Pretty good crowd too.
Yeah,
Lucky.
a lot of people here. Sponsors Day and Ladies Day. Treated to what is a close contest of Riverland football.
Well, scoreboard doesn't lie, Lockie. That's the facts of the matter, mate. 3 kicks and Loxton are in front, so we can't sugarcoat that.
So here we go. Can Loxton work this one out of defence? Finds its way. No. Barmera Monash get in the way once again. There's Justin Bonney. Kicks up and finds Jake Smith at the top of the 50. Well, he's getting a few possessions, Jake Smith.
He said eyes are darting around, but he also turned his back on the full 50, so I think he's going to go back and have a crack at this one. Says, don't worry, boys. I know I missed one early, but...
Well, Jordan Freeman, the only goal scorer today.
Simpler times.
And that was in the first 3 minutes of the game. So Jake Smith kicks from 50 to the square. It's punch forward. Can someone read the crumbs and kick this one through? We'd love to see another goal.
Sammy Vanderwood's on the bottom of that pack.
Calling for a free. Umpire says my footy.
Ball up right in the goal square here. Dangerous spot. Aidan Hodgson's come off for a breather after a strong quarter.
Ball up. Loxton try to punch it over the back. I reckon that was Vanderwood off the ground. That's gone through.
There it is.
And there is the goal of the day to suit Loxton.
Sammy Vanderwood. Finally, Barmera is able to convert one. It's come from a kick over the head of Sam Vanderwood. I don't think he even had a sight on goal. We just threw it on the boot, and he's done well. It's more accurate than anything else we've seen today.
Of all the behinds, that was probably one that probably should have been one.
I reckon he's shaking his head at the Barmera bench. I don't think he knew a thing about that.
He's going, and Jordan Freeman just gives him a high five and says, "Welcome to the Goal Scorers Club, lad."
Yeah, that's it.
It's a pretty elite club this afternoon. There's only 2 members. So 2 goals, 14-26. Barmera Monash leading Loxton, just one behind. Just short of 12 minutes on the Murray Pest Control clock. Nap in the ruck, punches forward. Great tap. Can Loxton make something of this? That was Evans that was tackled. I think he had a few more metres than he did.
Drogamala pinned him then, so Barmera with the footy again inside the centre square. Tries to go down the guts, Drogamala.
Barmera Monash here to play today.
So it's just in congestion here on the far side of the square. It's going to come back into the 450 for Barmera now, though. So whoever they got, Reece Lehman's pumping his arms to get to the footy, gets a hand to it. Carl Smith's there to mop up. Gives the handball back. Matt Glenn's there for Loxton. Dishes the handball out to Johnny Fisher. Fisher kicks it out wide to Lockie Evans. So Loxton get a chance to just consolidate for a moment. Not a lot of options. He's got someone on down the line. Chris Knapp's giving him a lead, but turns both of them down. Eventually kicks long. Out in front of the scoreboard. A few players are going to fly at this one. Big pack. It's Caden Evans there to Rove. He kicks it straight to Fraser Sampson. So the Roos are out here if they can switch it. They've got numbers in the middle of the ground.
That's Bonnie, but great intercept mark there from Loxton. Finds its way to Luke Harder in the centre square. He wheels around. Big kick on the left. Looks for a target. And intercept. Oh, they're going to get the free here. And there's Mann. And he's given a 25-metre penalty straight up.
Number 5 for the day against the Roos.
So Loxton, through Josh Mann, could get their second goal of the day, or the first goal of the day, second score. Currently on one behind. It goes without saying.
Wasting no time here, man. 25 metres out, directly in front. Kicks through the footy.
It's a pretty important kick.
And he likes it. It's a goal to the Tigers. They're on the board. Lockie, they're on the Aquatic We Control Australia scoreboard. So 1 goal, 1-7 to Loxton. The home side plays Barmera Monash 2 goals, 14. You heard me right. 2 goals, 14-26 to kick things off here. So first goal of the day for Loxton. Long time coming, but comes off the back of a 25-metre penalty, and it has to be said, Lockie, we've seen a few of them today against the Roos.
Yeah, they are giving a few away. Look, I haven't really taken note, but I'm not sure if Loxton have given one away. Saying that, Barmera and Monash have had a lot more of the footy.
Correct. Yep, very correct. But a couple of them being in quick succession as well, so it's not what you want to see. I'm sure they'll review that though.
Big on the double. It's the what for, and it's like, all right, we're going to go again.
Yep.
So Loxton managed to. Oh no. Ball smothered. Freeman gets a wild soccer out of the middle.
Trudgeon's caught one in the face, but he's kept the ball in front of him. Gathered it eventually.
And Loxton try to pick this one up. Well, the umpire's not happy, or the supporter's not happy with that. Barmera and Monash get the free. They try to move it on quickly, but umpire says no, it's got to go back to the spot.
Just a little bit of heat creeping into this one.
Play on, and here's Jamison Whitbourne. Kicks into the 50. Looks for D. Michelle. I don't have a market, but picks it up off the ground.
What a kick.
Kick on goal.
D. Michelle. Now, that didn't take long to knock off Sammy Vanderwood, I think, for the front runner for the Surf to Suit Loxton goal of the day. How's the second effort for Dean Michelle there? He's a big-bodied mid that spends a lot of time up forward. Affected the contest, gathered the ball at ground level, snap around the body easy as you like. He looks around at his teammates that have kicked 14 behinds in a quarter and a half of footy and says, what have you guys been doing wrong? It's this easy.
So we went for a quarter and 12 minutes with one goal scorer. Now we have four in the goal scorers club this afternoon. It is raining goals here at Tigerland today.
Not a moment too soon, mate. Yeah. Getting itchy feet.
It's Barmera and Monash that have the clear advantage. 32 plays 7 on the Aquatic Week Control Australia scoreboard. Big work for Loxton to do. Saying that's still a half a footy to play. No breeze to speak of.
Yep, dead still out there.
So ball back in the centre. Can Loxton try and track this one down? Fisher got a tap, but it didn't go too far. He goes, tackled off the ball. Umpire says play on. Freeman does the soccer again. The Roos now looking dangerous. There's Whitbourne. He's getting more and more into this game. Looks for D. Michelle. Was a bit too far in front. Takes the ball over the boundary line. And that's a win for the Roos there, I reckon.
Yep, throw in
Just
right
hold
on the
it in.
450. Yeah, good stuff.
So Jamison Whitbourne's becoming more and more of an influence in the middle for the Roos.
Yep, the second quarter, he's had a fair bit of it. Same with Aiden Hodgson, so they both performed really well to start with. Sammy Butterworth on the bench again for the Roos, so standing up without their star captain out there for now.
That was Albrecht there with the long sleeves, got a handball out. The Roos are playing a bit more attacking now, so it's almost as if hold down a side for a bit, get the lead, whether it be in minor scores or majors, and then you can open the taps a little bit.
Well, a few of their chances have come off the break, so I think that's, it's just by virtue of them setting up and sort of launching on that counter-attack, which, it's probably not a bad way to play when you're lacking a big key forward.
Salmon got a handball away in the middle, but didn't get too far. Hold it in. Oh, no, it spills out the back. And once again, it's Barmera and Monash that make the most of it. Jamison Whitbourne again. Big kick into the attacking 50. Spills over the back. Can someone clear this one out? Cale Smith for the Tigers. Takes it on. Takes the ball wide. And that's found Caden Evans, I reckon, on the far flank.
Jacob Evans.
Jacob Evans, yes. Kick up. Finds Lockie Evans.
Too many of them, I think.
Small kick. Just to mark there, that's Josh Mann. Probably in Loxton's best so far today. But commentators curse straight to the Barmera and Monash Roos on half-back. We waste no time. Find Freeman on centre wing. Brings it back in board. Jake Smith. No one's manning up. Looks for a target. Finds Vanderwood. Not able to mark it. Got the second effort.
Jeez, he contested that well, Vanderwood. But Cale Smith's come away with the footy. Johnny Fisher, they're going to go through the middle of the ground here, the Tigers. Just held up a little bit, though.
Matt Glenn brings it wide. Looks for...
Caden Evans has got the footy now. Just wheeling around onto that left foot, but kicks it straight to Vanderwood. So he's having a bit of an impact on the contest here, the youngster.
Yeah, I like it.
It's good.
Jamison Whitbourne, another name we're calling a fair bit. Brings it back inboard. Finds Drugamuller. Drugamuller plays on.
Great kick.
Kicks to the square. No one able to mark it. Can the Roos make something out of this? They can't. Tigers managed to clear it out. So the Tigers' defence working somewhat okay, considering the amount of forward entries Barmera and Monash have had.
Yep, they're not holding up too bad, but Barmera all over him here. It's play on, calls the umpire. Loxton with the footy, tried to get a clearing kick out. Everyone's scrapping around out here, but it looks like it's going to be a ball up. So about 30 metres out, give or take from Barmera Monash goal. Another one here, really break the back of the Tigers.
Yeah, 32 plays 7.
You still probably count themselves a little bit lucky it's not worse.
Oh, Vanderwood out of the ball up, snap on goal, and it's out of bounds. Loxton got out of that one, not too bad.
Matt Glenn going to bring it back in. Everyone's sort of drifting to this side of the ground. I think this one's probably going to go over the line, down the line, unless he tries to pick off a target in the middle, but just holds it up. It's got Cale Smith about 20 metres in front of him if he wants it.
Goes without saying, Loxton need a goal before half-time. Bring it up, but once again, Barmera Monash get the intercept. Drugamullah, kick on goal, out of bounds.
Again, Vanderwood there to rove the contest. If he's not marking it, he's there to get the second effort, so really impressive.
Yeah, Barmera Monash looking pretty formidable this afternoon. Of course, a pretty important game for Loxton. Got to win this one to be any chance of finals.
I've not seen much of Jesse Will today, Lockie. He's such an impactful player. He's just been stranded inside that 450. Loxton can't get the ball down there, but Harley Campbell's roving the footy on the half-back line, and you look around, Nathan Flight's forward of centre and Jesse Will's right in the centre circle, but other than that, everyone's in the Barmera Monash half of the ground at the moment.
Like Loxton are doing a change, just seeing who's going to come off here.
It's like Chris Knapp's just edging towards the interchange. Talon Eagles raring to come on, but it's going to be Nathan Flight that comes off in the end. It's a bit stiff on Flighty. I don't think he's had too much service so far. Harder kicks the ball long down in front of us. Chris Knapp and Talon Eagle fly. Mick Mock does well. Spoil goes out to Barmera's advantage. Aiden Hodgson in the fit of things at the moment, and Barmera moving the ball pretty well here. It's going to go inside 50. But
Whitbourne, but
absolutely nowhere near the target. Cale Smith takes that mark on the chest, and Loxton look to rebound here through Lockie Evans.
They move it out quickly. They found Brock Salmon. He takes the ball up, but taken down. Umpire says play on. It's a wild handball over the back, and now Barmera Monash managed to pick this one up. Can they make something out of this? Wheels into a goal. I reckon that was Spilios, and it's a minor score.
3 goal 15 now for the Roos. 33 plays Loxton 1 goal 1-7 on the Aquatic We Control Australia scoreboard.
Yeah, Paul Spilios said, good spot, good kick, just went the wrong side of the post.
Correct. As has been the case a few times today.
Loxton now try to take this one up the far wing. Can they make something out of this? They backtrack back inboard, and it's been the story of the day. Still got the footy just for now. There's Lockie Evans. Looks for Johnny Fisher in the middle.
Oh, great mark.
Spins around. Looks for Caden Evans, but intercepted by the Roos. And there's Aiden Lyon just on the edge of the square. Takes the footy wide. And you think Barmera Monash might be able to wind the clock down somewhat soonish.
Yeah, they can chip it around if they want, but it's gone down the middle of the ground, so Jake Smith's got the footy now. He's got an option in Butterworth if he can find him. He goes for the kick. Kasulki flies, might have got a fingertip on it. Umpire says he has. Butterworth's got the footy now. He's kicked it about all of 3 metres out to Vanderwood. Backs his pace in, the youngster, though. Goes past Kasulki, but the kick has gone straight to John Fisher, who's spilled the mark. And it's Wesley around the body for the Roos. Likes it off the boot, but the umpire disagrees. It's a point. He'll be kicking himself there. Well, damn, Wesley, that was a golden chance there from a spilled, pretty well regulation mark from John Fisher. Uncharacteristic, but again, the Tigers, they get away with one.
So here it is, 22 minutes played, or 22 and a half minutes played. Loxton now just got to hold on to this and get to half-time. Reassess and work out a few things. You have to work out some options pretty quick, however.
I don't know what you do. Chuck Jesse Will in the middle. I think that's what I'd be doing. Get a bit of X-Factor going on. They've started to lose the clearances a little bit as well, which is a bit of a worry because if they're setting up behind the ball and they're not getting first use of it, it's not a recipe for goals at all.
And Mock kicks up, finds Drugamullah just on the edge of the 50 for the Roos. He kicks inboard, looks for a target, spills over the back. This might just roll through for a goal. Oh no, not quite. Loxton just walked that one over the line.
Well mopped up by Matt Glenn, just conceding a bit of ground rather the point than the goal. Salmon with the footy, gives to John Fisher on the half-back flank for the Tigers, goes down the line. A few players pumping their arms to get to this one. Spoiled in the contest. There's Jesse Will. He's on the bottom of a pretty solid tackle, though, by Jamison Whitbourne. So there's going to be a ball up directly in front of us. Can't be too much time left, Lockie.
No, it must be ticking down. 23 and a half minutes played on the Murray Pest Control clock. Aquatic Week Control Australia scoreboard. Barmera Monash 33, leading Loxton 7. It's the way Barmera Monash have got to that 33 that's the concerning part. 3 goals, 15.
Or concede a bit of ground here. The Roos looking to find a teammate, but Chris Knapp's there to affect the contest for the Tigers. Lockie Evans gathers the footy, tries to spin out of trouble, but he's brought down by a Barmera player in Mick Mock. So the ball up just forward of centre for Loxton. Maybe a quick kick out of this. Could be a chance. Fisher wins the tap. Down. Drugamuller's there. Lockie Evans, another tackle there, so another ball up.
Yeah, no one able to take that one. So half-time's getting very close. 24 minutes played. Ball up. Fisher and Freeman, but it's Butterworth that comes in for the third man up. No one able to really clear it out. Loxton somehow get it out the back. There's Harder. Handballs wide to Josh Mann. Josh Mann takes the footy. Full short of Chris Knapp. Chris Knapp runs wider to the pocket. Kick to the top of the square. Can someone mark it for Loxton? No, they can't. Barmera Monash take the footy wide. And it's found its way to Spilios on half-back. Kicks up the line. Just hold station. And now... Oh, great mark there from Aidan Hodgson from the Roos.
It's almost a chance. Growers Services Riverland Mark of the Day, Hodgson.
Yeah, we had to fend off a couple there. Well, one. But...
Dressed it up, mate.
Yeah, punched over. Yeah. And there it is. Half-time. Round 14, Riverland Football League action on 5RM. It's Barmera Monash. 3-16-34. Leading the Loxton Tigers. 1-1-7. It's going to be a big second half for Loxton to come back from this. Barmera Monash just a half away from further shoring up a final spot. Let's find out what's happening around the grounds with Trevor Scott back in the Sideline View studio. Trevor, what have you got? Thank you, Trevor. Yes, half-time now complete. It's Barmera Monash with a big lead, 35 to the Loxton Tigers 7. Alongside me is Ben Lennon this afternoon. Ben, about to get this third quarter underway. In a nutshell, what have Loxton got to do?
Kick straighter. Barmera have to kick straighter and Loxton have to just get a handle on the game. It's being played on Barmera's terms at the moment, and ball up to start things off here, and it's going to be another ball up to kick us off. So, yeah, I think Loxton just need to get a bit of a handle on it and play the game on their terms for a bit, but definitely easier said than done.
Yep, Loxton will be kicking to the Bookpinong Road end, which has been slightly more scoring this game. Finds its way to Mason Warner on half forward for Loxton. Brings it back inboard, looks for Chris Knapp. Spills over the back, no one able to mark it. And once again, Barmera Monash. Oh no, I spoke too soon. Chris Knapp holds it in on half back. Finds its way to Lockie Evans. Harder out the back. Pushes it forward. Dives on it. Some pretty desperate play going on here. Ben Drugamuller for Barmera. Gets a handball out. And here we see Barmera Monash link up and clear this one out. Finds Lehman. Back inboard to Fraser Sampson. He was taken high. That'll be a free kick. No, play on. Umpire says.
Great
finds
kick.
its way to Paul Spilios in the forward pocket. Here we're going to go back, and this could be goal number 5 for the game.
Well, we've gone too early before, Lockie. I'm sure we'll do it again, but another chance for Barmera here. Frankie Sampson just rode that high tackle. I think the umpire paid advantage, and does well to find Spilios, who has a shot on goal about 30-odd metres out. A pretty tough angle, but definitely a kickable shot, but we've seen that proven wrong time and time again today.
I'll back this one in. I reckon this one is going to the Pine Avenue end. Looks right off the boot. He's happy. There it is. Commentators curse no more. Barmera Monash, 4 goals, 17. They extend the lead, 41 plays 7 on the Aquatic Week Control Australia scoreboard. Less than 90 seconds gone in this third quarter.
Yeah, that hurts. You never want to concede one straight after half-time because you come out all pumped up. You've had the rev up at half-time and you go, you're right, boys, let's start this one, and then you can see the goal within 20 seconds. So not ideal for the Tigers, but still an entire half of footy to play, but the perfect start for the Roos through Spilios and a pretty slick passage of play through the middle of the ground as well.
And the way results are playing, it would appear Barmera Monash getting that little bit closer to shoring up that third spot on the ladder. Ball up, doesn't go too far, and we'll have another one in the middle. Still a bit to go, it must be said. Barmera Monash certainly looking like a pretty formidable team at this point. Chris Knapp for Loxton tries to work that out himself, but wrapped up, and we'll go again.
Yep, bit of rinse and repeat here, so the ball's up again. Freeman wins the tap. It's a big one, goes forward. And Hodgson might have caught one high, but it's play on. Ball in congestion. Johnny Fisher's got it at the bottom of the pack, hands it off to Knapp. Knapp can't quite get a handle on it. Barmera players there to try and wrap him up. But it's Steve Michelle who's come away with the footy, and it's a quick kick out towards the forward 50. Reece Lehman charging out of forward 50 for the Roos, but cops an errant bounce, a bit of a leg spinner there. It's done him in.
As Wesley's in there as well for Barmera Monash, and they're all having a crack. Kicked enough behinds today, 4-17. Yep. 17 behinds, 41. Loxton off half-back, take the ball wide with a wild kick. Mason Warner's in a foot race. Paul Spilios gets a foot on it first, though, paddles it out. Loxton managed to work this one out. There's Drew Kasolki. All right, finds its way to Jesse Will. Can we see some order back in this game? Looks for Talon Eagle. One hand, couldn't mark it. Barmera Monash defence diving on it. And they managed to get this one out once again. There's Millard, all the time in the world. Handball's back into flight. And there it is. Loxton managed to score one. Righty-o.
Flighty's second effort, second to none there. Does well to smother the handball of Dylan Millard, who knows this oval pretty well given the last couple of years. But Flighty was there to curtail it and get a handy one back for the Tigers, just their second of the day on the Aquatic Week Control Australia scoreboard. So it's 2 goals, 1, I believe, to the Tigers. 13 plays Barmera Monash, 4 goals, 17, 41. So still a ways to go for the Tigers, but a much needed one there, Lockie.
Oh, certainly was. Look, Dylan Millard looked like he had all the time in the world there, but a handball.
Perhaps still a bit
intercepted.
rusty. He hasn't played too much footy this year, battling injury a little bit, just trying to get his body right. He'll still be a handy in for the Roos come finals if they are to win today and make it. Just rushed a little bit there in the end, and Flight was there to capitalise.
Yeah, to my calculations, he would have played about between 5 and 7 games, I would have thought, this year. And in the A grade, maybe only as few as 4.
Yeah, I think you probably bang on. You definitely played a couple in the twos. But it's Loxton going forward again here out of the centre bounce. Jesse Will flew at the contest. But the Barmera player is able to come away with the ball. Sam Butterworth now with the footy. Goes inboard. Looks into the forward 50. Freeman's running back with the flight. Done quite well to just outwork and outmanoeuvre Craig Fisher there.
And that is a contender. Finally, another Mark of the Day contender. We've been far and few between, but it's a wild old shocking kick and intercepted by Johnny Fisher from the Tigers, who takes the ball east. Now Loxton try to bring this one back inboard. We're seeing this a bit. The initial part of a play is good. Like, that's the idea. So Johnny Fisher gets the ball back again, takes the ball wide, but it's the second one bringing it back inboard at critical times, which is causing so many turnovers.
Yeah, they might have been instructed to go through the middle as much as they can, but they're conceding ground in doing it. But it doesn't matter at the moment because they've found a way out onto the wing, and the ball's kicked long inside Loxton's full 50. Fraser Sampson's got the ball. He's got his head taken off there by Talon Eagle, so he'll get a free kick. Sampson wastes no time, kicks it out, finds Hodgson in the paddock of space. He goes inboard. So Barmera trying to build something here, running through the middle of the ground. Quick exchange of handball, and Hodgson's going to get the footy back, kicks it out wide, found Butterworth in a bit of space on the wing, and it's ball in the hands of a pretty good user, and he wastes no time in finding a teammate.
That's Patrole.
Patrole plays on quick, though.
Jake Smith. He's done that a few times.
Just edges out the defender, takes a one-handed mark, and that's probably the leader for the Royal Services Riverland Mark of the Day, in my opinion, Lockie.
Yeah, that's up there. Just the old little nudge forward, looking like the ball was going to come in. He sucked his defender, his opponent in. And Jake Smith, just one step back.
Just a bit of footy nous, Lockie.
So, coming in now. Can Jake Smith get on the goal scorers list today? He can. There we have it. The Roos extend the lead further.
I don't know what's happened, Lockie, but we've come out in the third quarter to a bit of a shootout. 3 goals in quick succession, just 6.5 minutes gone so far on the Murray Pest Control clock. 2 goals to Barmera this quarter and 1 from Nathan Flight for Loxton. It's an electric start. That's what we wanted. We asked for more snags, and snags we have received so far.
Interesting. You can see when Barmera Monash have got a reasonably full-strength side, players like Jake Smith aren't required to go into the midfield, which is a good indication of how well your team's travelling.
It's a bit of a luxury to have him floating around in the 450 and chopping out in the middle, mate.
Yeah, because he hasn't been in the middle much today. So Loxton now managed to get this centre clearance, and they find Jesse Will on half forward. He wheels around, looks for Flight. He's the target in the pocket. Unable to mark it. Ball goes to ground. Barmera Monash get a handball out. It's Aidan Lyon, I reckon, that cleared that one out.
I think it's Mick Mock.
Oh, Mock, sorry.
Yeah.
Mock, yes.
The skipper, he's fended off Nathan Flight, which is no easy task. Hodgson with the footy again. Evades the umpire, of all people. Goes out wide. So they've got a bit of time here, Barmera. Might look to go quickly, although they just held it up a little bit. Go inboard now. Yeah, Hodgson with the footy again.
That's Albrecht that got the small kick away with the long sleeves.
Get the handball back, does Albrecht. He goes one way, runs the other. He's got Johnny Fisher on skates at the moment. Goes inside 50 towards Wesley, but there to mop up is Deegan Rothy, and ball goes out of play. So there'll be a throw in just on Barmera's forward 50 here.
You got to say, Barmera Monash have got Loxton for pace today.
Well, they're a young side. I think that
time.
sort of comes with it. So,
big time.
Yeah, particularly with guys like Vanderwood coming in, and Hodgson's looked really quick today, and yeah, they lack a little bit in the height department, but they've got the wheels to make up for it for sure.
Yeah, no Will Gucci or Shay Lange today for Loxton. It's a big
Demichelle was just edged his opponent out from under the ball. He's got a chance here. Snap around the body on the right foot. Loves it off the boot. Gives the fist pump to the Ladies' Day tent. Not sure he's getting much applause from them, but regardless, it's a score on the Aquatic Weed Control Australia scoreboard. That's another goal to Demichelle, his second of the day. Similar to his first, but I reckon this one was even trickier on a tighter angle. Yeah, he's done very well.
That is certainly a contender for the Surf to Suit goal of the day. And we're in Loxton today, so timely. The Surf to Suit Loxton goal of the day. Dean Michelle, certainly no stranger to that award, by the way. And as you said,
it's got a deep bag of tricks, Dean Michelle.
So after some initial promise from the Loxton Tigers, it's all in the way of Barmera Monash at this stage. 6-17-53, leading Loxton 2-13, 9 minutes played, third quarter.
Strong start from the Roos. Thought Loxton might have got a grip on it with a goal from Flight, but 3 goals to 1 in this third quarter as the ball goes into play again Sam Butterworth gets the clearance and gives to Fraser Sampson, who runs back through traffic, but kicks a nice-looking drop punt. Just fell short of Reece Lehman at centre-half forward. Ball comes out to Jamison Whitbourne now. He tries to go wide. Finds his target. And Trent Ogle's got the footy now just outside forward 50. And it's a quick little kick to Demichelle in Demichelle's pocket. So he's got a set shot if he wants it. He might look inboard to try and find a teammate, but if I was him, I've got a hot hand at the moment, I'd be backing myself in.
So Demichelle just takes the ball back and just, tells the ladies day 10 just to go back a little bit because he's encroaching on a bit of space there. We did see the halftime ladies day kicking contest, Ben, before, didn't we?
Impressive.
Demichelle
was quite good.
From
That's
the pocket.
Kick.
A minor score.
Just fallen short. He's gone the early crow as well. I had one hand in the air. He loved it off the boot. I don't really blame him, but yeah, just fallen short. Rush behind, so back into play here. Loxton get a chance to reload.
It might be a one-way traffic, but at least we're seeing a few highlights in this game now. Loxton bring the ball back inboard. Hard as the target on centre wing. Just wrapped up. Tell you what, Barmera Monash have worked out Luke Harder today. And Nathan Flight to that impact as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you can fly this supply off, there's probably not too much he can do. He's managed to affect a few contests and kick the goal himself, but nowhere near as impactful as he was last week against Renmark and indeed the week before when we were here in the game against Waikerie.
So Luke Harder, speaking of, gets a handball out. Johnny Fisher tries to work it out, but umpire says my footy and will go again. Just short of 11 minutes played on the Murray Pest Control clock this afternoon. Third quarter.
Running out of time here, Loxton. It's some serious consequences if they lose this one. It leaves a lot to be desired next week. They're going to have to rely on percentage working out. Loxton North in front at Waikerie is going to help them, but still a big mountain to climb if they go down here today. So now or never for the Tigers at home in front of a big crowd. See what they can do.
So a ball up. Still in the centre square. Fisher for Loxton. Handballs out and finds a Nap. Big handball over the top to Johnny Fisher. But it's Jack Albrecht from Barmera Monash who gets his hands to it first. He was tackled. Handball back again from Loxton. Loxton try to work this one down the wing. Can they hit up a target at the forward flank? Spills over the 50-metre arc, but it's going wide. Barmera Monash will just try and work this one out of bounds. Still in board. Loxton holding onto this one just. They're going to have to get some goals on the board very quickly if there are any chance. Jesse Will gets a hands on it. But now it's Barmera Monash to clear it out, holding the ball.
Harley Campbell with the tackle there. So Loxton a chance to reload. Jesse Wills picked up the advantage, but I think it's going to come back to Harley Campbell. Probably a good thing because it's fallen straight into the arms of Jack Sullivan. So Loxton, Barmera get a chance to set up, but Harley Campbell's a good user of the footy normally, so he'll be looking to pick off a target here and get Loxton another chance at goal.
Just looking at Loxton's bench, Raph Little's been sitting there for a while. He might have picked up an injury that we may have missed.
Yeah, I've definitely not called his name too much.
No, he was on early. I did see it, but I think he slipped off without us picking up that one. Loxton now drive this one to the attacking 50. Craig Fisher got his hands on it, the ruckman for Loxton, but Barmera Monash through a couple of quick handballs and a kick from Whitbourne out to Lyon. And now Barmera Monash clear this one out again. That was Mock. Finds its way to Demichelle in the centre square.
Dropped the mark, but it was a good pick-up.
He got Vanderwood trying to chase this one down. He couldn't do it. Drew Kasolki for Loxton goes on the rebound, but straight into the hands of Barmera Monash coach Fraser Sampson, who brings the footy wide to Trent Ogle. Ben Drugamal has just come off the bench as well.
Got numbers here, Barmera, if they can use it. They've got a couple extra ones, but just being held up here by the Tigers. So it's a shocking kick, the old worm burner from Jack Sullivan. Not gone exactly how he wanted it. Lockie Evans was there to get the ball, and he's copped one high from Jake Smith. So Loxton with control of the footy at the moment. Nothing yet to show for it so far other than a goal to Nathan Fly earlier in the quarter. But Lockie Evans, great kick to find Talon Eagle. Just right on the 50-metre arc, so it'll take a fair roost to get it home. Talon plays on quickly. Drop punt goes towards goal. Luke Harder's there. A couple of Barmera defenders as well, but it's off hands and through for another behind.
Touched over the line. Flight frustrated. Just not very much he probably could have done in that one. But either way, it must be frustrating for Loxton. So they get another minus score on the board. That takes it to 2-2. 14, trailing Barmera Monash 6-18. Yes, that's right, 6-18-54.
And you know what? That's better than what it was as well. It's trending up.
So Butterworth for Barmera Monash brings it out. looks for Sampson, but intercept from Lockie Evans. And he just turns around and just holds station for a second. Now drives it to the centre of the 50. No one able to mark it. Over the back, Eagle got a handball, but it went nowhere. Now Barmera Monash, they've done this time and time again. Fraser Sampson gets through traffic, gets it to Drugamullah. Drugamullah, no one's on him. Kicks up the line, looking for a target. And great bit of work there from Carl Smith from Loxton. Manages to get his hands on it. Kick it back down the line with Johnny Fisher.
He's got time and space here, Fisher. Tries to pick off Talon Eagle, but...
And that was out of bounds.
Should be out of bounds on the full, so it's going to go the way of Dylan Millard here, the former Tiger himself, former Tiger coach. He's going to bring it back inboard. Just a little chip kick to Sam Butterworth. And a bit of a quarterback role today, is Butters.
Yeah, right call there from the young boundary umpire. Didn't take any pressure from the side trying to say it was still in.
Yep, stood up well.
Drugamullah with the footy on back flank. Sideways kick over the top. Finds Freeman.
He's weighted that pretty well as Drugamullah. It looked like a bit of a hospital ball, but he's come away with it okay. So Freeman sends it forward. But there to take the intercept mark is Cale Smith, who, amongst a fair few forays forward from Barmera, he stood up pretty well today as Cale.
So Cale Smith with the footy on the back flank. And they finds Glenn. Now the footy at the top of the 50 for Loxton. Can they work something out of this one? Brock Salmon now up the line. Josh Mann's a target, but great intercept mark from Sullivan from the Roos. He gets a handball out wide. And the Roos go on the attack again, down the far wing. Bring this one back inboard. Finds Jamison Whitbourne. He's got a couple of metres. Drugamullah on the cricket pitch. Now the Roos. They love this 90-degree little work up the ground. Finds its way to a loose player, but he was wrapped up pretty quickly by Salmon. That was Luke. And Loxton are going to get a free on half back.
No, I think it's going to be a ball up.
Ball up. It is too.
No prior opportunity there. I think that's probably a fair call.
Yeah, okay. I thought he might have had a couple. Either way, no one's able to get this one clearly out. Oh, great. Penn Drugamullah, some great attacking footy. Finds its way to Mason Warner on the wing. Just hold station for a second.
Strong tackle by Drugamullah. Good old-fashioned spear, that was.
A bit of calmness. Yep. Mason Warner breaks. Oh, he couldn't get around. Fraser Sampson. And loose handball. Finds its way to Lockie Evans. Gets its way to Luke Salmon, who gets around one. Gets a handball over the top. Can Loxton make something out of this? And they drive it up the centre. Looking for a target. Intercept from the Roos. And we've said it time and time again this afternoon, haven't we, Ben?
Yeah, we have. It's another 4A forward that hasn't come up trumps, but Talon Eagle's got the ball here. He's able to pounce on a fairly errant kick from Aiden Lyon, I think it was. Talon Eagle, quick handball out. Jesse Will coming into the game a little bit more now, the Loxton skipper, and finds Nathan Flight. Flighty's going to wheel around straight away onto that right foot. But
he's normally a very good kick on goal, but that was a very rushed kick, and it's gone out of bounds. Not on the full, but yeah. Not sure what the go was there.
Yeah, I think it's just come off the old instep there, and I reckon the Barmera fans might have just let him know about it a little bit too.
Normally, very accurate kick on goal, and just that nous knowing where it is. We've seen it this year. Well, the last game we did here, he had 5 till half time.
He did.
Yeah, and you'd probably say most other forwards would have been a 2-2 at best out of those 5
correct.
Goals.
Absolutely.
Loxton is still trying to work this footy. Still got it in their attacking 50. Can they make something out of it? It's out of the back and out. And there's young Sam Vanderwood with the footy for Barmera Monash. He clears it up. And now the Roos go on the run.
Excellent kick by Vanderwood. Finds Freeman. Freeman, you can't say the same for him. That's a big old up and under towards Jake Smith. But Jake Smith just judged it to perfection. The Barmera Monash stalwart is going to go back and... Oh, it's not Jake Smith. Who have we got here? It's Trudgeon, who's sat himself under that ball.
Yeah, very easy mistake, though. Very similar body type.
Yeah, not sure what's going on there, but Trudgeon's going to go back and he'll look to convert from 20 metres out directly in front. Drop punts on the way. And he gives it the double fist pump and the high five, and the Roos are on the board yet again for their 7th goal of the day on the Aquatic We Control Australia scoreboard. So Barmera Monash probably, you think, Lockie, just a little bit out of reach of Loxton by now if the game continues as it's been going for the past 2.5 quarters.
Yeah, it would be a phenomenal 4th quarter should Loxton get the job done here. I mean, stranger things have happened, but the only saving grace for Loxton is Barmera's inaccurate kicking early, because this score could have been much bigger by now.
Well, you talk about percentage coming into it potentially next week, and 7-goal 18. It could have been a lot worse for the Tigers. But still enough time to make some inroads before the end of the third quarter. And then, like you said, mate, stranger things have happened, but it would take a lot at this point. Chris Knapp in the ruck now against Freeman. Ball goes up. Knapp wins the tap. Goes down to nobody in particular. Looks like Mason Warner's now in the middle for the Tigers. Bit of strength around the ball. Jesse Will also in the middle. The ball's spilling out towards Barmera's end, and it's Demichelle who comes away with the footy. Doesn't quite nail the kick. Nearly takes Wesley's head off in the process, I should say. But Barmera there to mop up. Might get another chance here. Wesley's burnt a couple of Loxton players. Keeps charging through on goal. Trent Ogles kicked into his own player, the errant smother, and geez, that probably could have scored a couple of times there for the Roos.
I think Trent Ogles' eyes lit up when he had the footy 15 metres straight out in front. Got on the boot as quick as he could, but unfortunately, a couple of his teammates ran in front.
He absolutely nailed his teammate right in the shoulder, I reckon.
So a ball up. Loxton managed to clear it out. Very fortunate. Looking for a target at half-back. Can they work this one out further? They can't. Barmera hold it in, so we're going to reload again. And Barmera Monash with a convincing lead, 60 playing 14, over 20 minutes played. Third quarter, Riverland football on 5RM.
Yep, not long to go now, so Loxton need to go. Absolutely, they do. So they're going through the middle of the ground, which is probably where they need to be at the moment. And Salmon's got the footy now, but he's absolutely pounced on by his Barmera opponent, illegally so, says the umpire. Salmon's going to have a free kick in the middle of the ground here. A few tall options down the line. Chooses to go towards, I believe there's one of the Evans boys. It might be Caden that's out there on that far wing. Tries to go even further down that wing, but it's picked off by a Barmera player, and they get a chance to reset here, the Roos. Hodgson with the footy now.
Yeah, it was young Bonnie that had the footy just before. Finds Drugamuller on the far wing. He brings it back inboard. Looks for a target and finds Trudgeon. Trudgeon now got his kick away under a bit of pressure from Loxton, and marked there from the Loxton defenders, who managed to bring it grandstand side. Lockie Evans now with the footy on the back flank. Small kick over the top, Cale Smith.
It's run about 60 metres to get that footy, Cale Smith, and it's a big booming left foot kick, but Jack Sullivan set up pretty well for the Roos. He gets first hands to it, but pounced on by a couple of Loxton opponents. So it's going to be a ball up just outside Loxton's forward 50. Time ticking down on the Murray Pest Control clock. Almost 22 minutes gone now in this third quarter here at Loxton Oval.
Yeah, I did see Ralph Little from the Tigers just come back on the field before.
It's an extended break on the bench for sure.
Craig Fisher was the player that came off for a bit of a rest. Wild kick away after that. Ball up, and it's out of bounds, and that'll be a free to Loxton. Young Lockie Bradley, I reckon that's going to take that. He will. He brings it back in. Small kick. Finds Cale Smith. One of the hardest workers today, I would have thought, for the Tigers on half-back.
He's had a lot to do. Definitely had a lot to do, but he stood up fairly well.
Yep, there's been no annual leave for him today. Speaking of, he's back in the contest here, because Barmera Monash have gone on the attack again. Wesley, small kick over the deck. Finds Patrol 8. Still a hot footy in the forward pocket. Barmera Monash looking dangerous. Wesley again, another crack at it. Got his head over the footy. Barmera Monash trying to work this one back inboard. There's Drugamuller. But Loxton through Johnny Fisher clear it out. Finds Chris Knapp at half-back.
Knapp wants to go, but he's going to have to go back over the mark. Gives the handball back to Fisher. Loxton trying to build something out of half-back here, but it's all one-on-one contests down the line. Kicks to one of them. Looks like the Loxton player's been lawfully handled. Caden Evans is going to get the free kick here.
Yeah, it was probably there.
Yeah, bit of jumper pulling. Probably could have gone either way. Lockie Evans chasing after this loose ball, but it's gone out of play just in front of the scoreboard. So in the front half for the Tigers, not a lot of time left. They're going to have to go now if they're going to get another score on the board here. As Sam Butterworth comes back on for the Roos.
23 and a half minutes played on the Murray Pest Control clock. Third quarter Riverland Football League action on 5RM. Barmera Monash not trying to hold station though. They're still on the attack. It's a different style from Barmera Monash today. I mean, we've seen elements of it, but maybe not to this extent. And I'm liking it, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, if this was 18 goals 7 instead of 7 goals 18, would be raving about them. But siren about to go, and there it is. So the end of the third term, Barmera Monash 7 goal 18, 60, plays Loxton 2 goals, 2-14. So all but over here at the precinct. It'd take a monster effort in the last quarter for the Tigers to come out on top.
Yep, still very important. We better throw back to the Sideline View studio at 5am and find out what's happening around the grounds. Trevor, back to you. A lot more times than Loxton can do at the other end.
They just set up, super organised behind the ball. Barmera Monash, and that's sort of one out. But it's not as if that's lent towards playing a defensive brand of footy. Sure, they're organised behind the ball, but when they get out in transition with the legs, they're it's pretty impressive. But a lot riding on that Waikerie game though as well. It must be said.
Yeah, there certainly is. We're just going to get this fourth quarter underway, and then we will get a score between Loxton North and Waikerie. Of course, that does play into this finals calculation. It must be said. I've just got the numbers out. I'm going to crunch them in this fourth quarter, Ben, and we can work out some percentages.
It was a cup of tea at halftime and the calculator at three-quarter time, mate.
Just got to work this one out. I do see Hawthorn are playing Collingwood this afternoon too, Ben.
Boy.
So,
no, let's not worry about
look at that. You've got the jump. 14 plays 1.
Oh, blow the siren.
Here it is, fourth quarter, round 14, Riverland football. It's Barmera, Monash and Loxton, Tigerland. Loxton managed to get their hands on it early, but it doesn't go too far. Both teams trying to get a soccer at. Freeman gets it to Drugamullah. He puts the head down. Ball spills out. Umpire says play on. And now Chris Knapp's got the footy for Loxton. Finds its way to Mason Warner. Looks for Luke Harder in the pocket for Loxton. The coach gets his hands on it. Wrapped up. Got a kick out. And umpire Todd Charlton says, my footy. We'll just follow this one for a bit and then we'll get that score update. Knapp does the ruck work for Loxton. But once again, Barmera Monash way too good out of defence and they clear it out. Looks for Trent Ogle, spills over the back. Freeman now runs into it. Looks for the paddles it along the ground. Ball stays inboard, out of bounds, right in front of us, broadcast position. We'll just get that scored. Trevor, back in the studio, what have you got? Yep, it's a low-scoring affair around the grounds, it must be said. And that Renmark, of course, the last time we heard that, had a big lead.
That could get ugly by the end, but we'll get a score update from that, I'm sure, at some stage. Barmera looking to go forward yet again here for the first time, though, in the last quarter. Kick from Trent Ogle goes inside 450. Barmera player did well to keep it in there, although the umpire on the boundary disagrees. So it looks like they're just going to confer a little bit here, the field umpire and the boundary umpire. Cale Smith wants the footy. You can understand that, but I'm not sure he's going to have the last say.
So what have we got here?
Well, I don't know.
Have it looks like Cale Smith has managed to...
compelling argument.
Yep. He might... I don't know. Yeah, great bit of, great bit of counsel there from Cale Smith. Who knows? Could have a future as a, I don't know, legal expert. Who knows?
Where have you gone with this?
I'm just saying he managed to convince him and he had a good argument and he got the free kick. So, hey, hats off.
Yep, results are there.
Yeah. Look, Cale Smith is in contention for our hardest worker today. We'll throw it out there.
Yep, I agree.
Loxton managed to get this one off half-back. Barmera Monash slipped up, a rare slip-up. And that wasn't a slip-up, though, from Barmera Monash. It was Mock with the footy on half-back. Just gets it to Di Michelle. He just down tools for a second.
Both of those two have been fantastic today at opposite ends of the ground. Mock just mopping up across half-back, and Di Michelle's been a bit of an outlet up forward, and one that they've needed, kicked a couple of crucial goals. So both very impressive players for the Roos today. Freeman as well in the ruck has fought pretty well against the bigger man in Craig Fisher, and Knapp as well at times too. But Dan Wesley has got a fair old fly at the footy there, but doesn't quite drag it down. The umpire's paid a free kick. It's going to go the way of Loxton. Johnny Fisher with the footy now. Thought about switching to Lockie Evans, but thought better of it in the end. Instead, he's going to go down the line. Talon Eagles looming is a bit of an option. Freeman's there as well. Who was that coming in from the side? That was Sullivan in the end. But Mason Warner's got the footy. Scrappy kick forward towards the coach, Luke Harder. Mock's right next to him. Gets there first as Mock. And the ball coming into Barmera Monash hands now, and they're spreading quite well at the Roos. Going across the ground. Another option there. Justin Bonney with the footy. He's pressure put on him, though, so it's a rush kick into the middle. Lockie Evans is going to get a bit of time here. He's done well to evade a couple of Barmera players. Lucky he had that time, though. Feeds the handball out.
So Chris Knapp now with the footy for Loxton. Gets a handball over the top. Back. Gets the old 1-2. Now looks for a target at the top of the 50. Finds Luke Harder. He plays on. Looks to the pocket. And there's Flight on his own.
That is unforgivable there. Jamison Whitbourne has just turned his back on his opponent, and if there's anyone you're going to turn your back on, you probably want to make sure it's not Nathan Flight. So Flighty now with a set shot on goal, probably about 35 metres out. Does he run around, or does he run in straight? What do you reckon?
Oh, I think this is the 50-50 angle here. I reckon he might just take a couple of steps here. Oh, no. Goes in straight, and he's missed. Maybe that was the problem. So 60 plays 15 on the Aquatic Week Control Australia scoreboard. Loxton needed that one desperately.
Yep, so Barmera Monash still heavily in the ascendancy here. Only 5 goals ahead in the goals column, but 15 points in the behind's a fair old differential, so firmly in control of this one of the visiting team, and a win today, lucky for the Roos, as we've said a few times today, it books them a spot in the finals, and it's looming as a pretty interesting final series as well, so it's must-watch footy, absolutely.
Yep, that would pretty much see them locked in third, all barring results next week, but as you said, a win today is going to guarantee them a final spot.
Yeah, absolutely. So, look, and percentage-wise for Loxton, there's still a mathematical chance, probably depending on what happens between Waikerie and Loxton North, but it's just all the more reason to throw everything at this last quarter. Every kick, every goal that they get here is absolutely golden and gives them a bigger sniff next week, because you've got to remember they do play Berry, who haven't won a game this year, but they are going forward, and Nathan Flight has found himself on the end of a good bit of play through the middle of the ground, so Flight is going to have another set shot here now, up to redeem himself from a missed one about 2 minutes ago, and it'll be a vital goal for Loxton. Maybe just kickstart a bit of a resurgence here in this last quarter.
Yeah, and look, this might sound really far-fetched, but if it does come to percentage next week, and Loxton are trailing by a bit, every score here does count.
Exactly right.
So it's on its way, but it's a minus score, which has been the order of the day. This is a very rare thing. I've seen Nathan Flight kick 3 behinds today. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
History in the making at the precinct at the moment.
Yep, of course, our usual regular offside, and Nobby Norton away today. He's always loves a good game at the precinct. Ball back in. Barmera worked this one off half-back. Oh, some great bit of play. Barmera and Monash taking the game on. There's Mock. Wheels around a couple. Kicks up to the 50. And there's Jamison Whitbourne. He's got a paddock. Wesley, sorry.
Yeah.
Not Whitbourne. Wesley.
He's got Sammy Vanderwood on the far flank, if he can see him, he has, but Vanderwood probably just took his eye off it for a little bit, so maybe a little missed opportunity. The ball's going to come back inside forward 50. Couple of blokes flying at the footy here, but doing the roving there for Barmera is Petrole, snap on goal, but just missed to the right-hand side, so another behind in that column for the Roos.
And the ball has made it pretty much to the Berry Bridge. So we'll go back to a score from Trevor. Trevor, what have you got at Berry and Renmark? Well, yeah, can't work it out because the weather today has probably been pretty much ideal for Riverland football. No breeze around. It's not the warmest day. It's, almost as good as you could get. It's not warm, but still no breeze to mention. And another behind there from Barmera Monash through Trudgeon.
I'll tell you what, no one enjoyed that little update from Trevor Scott more than Jacob Trudgeon, because he's run through on goal and given it the biggest celebration I've seen today, and he's ended up missing it by about a foot. So he's probably got away with one there that we didn't call that, Trudgeon. But it's another point to the Roos. They've hit 20 now, Lockie. Yep. New heights.
Time to declare in junior cricket when you get to 19 and a scoring shot.
It didn't happen very often for myself, mate. I'm not sure about you, but...
early days, a couple of times, Then you come back in at the end.
Yeah,
and,
cash me a bat.
Yeah. Come in again at the end, and you could make
through third man, and away you go.
If your team could keep batting. Yeah, long time ago now, Ben.
You get you back in the whites.
Adelaide Hills days. Yeah. Barmera Monash still holding this one in their 50, and we'll have another ball up. So 62 plays 16 on the Aquatic Weed Control Australia scoreboard. Josh Mann for Loxton waiting on the interchange gate to come on. Rotations-wise, Barmera Monash would very much be in the lead of those. Very structured in how they rotate their players around.
Something that Samson's really brought is that just that organisation, both on and off the field, like you say, with those rotations. Very Renmark set up. No doubt learnt a lot off of his time under Josh Vader, but the Tigers here trying to build something yet again. Lockie Evans has been pretty serviceable today for the Tigers, as he often is. He gets a handball received, but left it behind, and Barmera a chance to pounce on it, but Caden Evans takes a nice intercepting mark, switches out wide to John Fisher, who's got Drew Kasolki if he wants him, which he does. So Kasolki with the ball now on the back flank.
Yep, just looks for a target. Sees Eagle, talent, marks the footy just inside. He'll wheel around. Kicks up the line, probably a smart move. Has he got a target? Mason Warner got his hands on it, but great work from Mock from Barmera Monash, who managed to spoil it and he got done holding the ball.
Not sure at what situation he could have got rid of that. It's probably a little bit unlucky there, Mock. But regardless, ball in the hands of John Fisher.
So John Fisher for Loxton with the footy on the forward flank region. It's the new position between the wing and the flank bin.
Yep, we make it up as we go.
Do you like that?
That's absolutely fine by me.
Mason Warner now with the footy on a more of a true forward flank. Looks up and intercept mark from Bonnie.
It looks like it's going to be a free kick, though.
No,
Knapp might have just been
too.
illegally edged out of that contest. So Knapp just in front of the forward wing,
Yep.
as you've coined it. He'll probably kick from about 55, but he's turned his back on Giles, so he clearly likes his chances. Goalless today, Knapp. Doesn't happen too often.
You could say this also is maybe the long forward pocket. Just, the entertainment we're thinking of here today hasn't been the greatest spectacle of footy, let's be honest.
Just north of fullback he is.
Yeah. So Knapp, footy on the way, takes every metre he can. It's a good kick, but it's a minor score. I think he tried to get the man on the mark in Justin Bonnie just to get out of the way so he could take a few more metres, because it was probably going into Bonnie's head if he didn't duck there just quickly.
Yep, not worth it. Got to keep the face intact, mate.
So Barmera Monash with the kick in, they go one way, then they switch it back the other. Work this one out. There's Mock. He's got the footy just on the defensive 50.
No one's on the mark. Jesse Will taking the mark now. So the ball in the hands of Sam Butterworth, SA Country representative this year. He's had a stellar season for the Roos. Has the skipper. He's taken a couple of bounces and gone out. Found Vanderwood, expert kick on the wing. And now they get another chance to go forward and potentially add another one to that goals column, but well defended there by the Loxton player, just edging DeMichelle out from under the ball. John Fisher now with the footy for Loxton, switches to Mason Warner. Trudgeon trying to apply a bit of pressure. Kicks it out wide. Doing well to intercept, though, is Hodgson, I believe, or it might have been Sullivan, actually. Easy to get those two mixed up.
There's Trudgeon, kicks around the corner, finds Trent Ogle. Ball just bounced, but play on. Finds Jake Smith, who marks it. Yeah, okay, that might have been a third umpire one there, but don't know, you reckon that was a half volley?
No, I reckon that carried.
Okay.
I reckon that carried.
Righto. What would have Stuart Broad done? That's our question today.
Stokes has thrown it up in the air before anything matters anyway.
Trent Ogle now with the footy, just a small kick around. Look, Jake Smith, it might have been a mark. He probably was. He sort of had his hands on it when it was sort of on the ground.
Ogle was found an open player. Loxton defence going to sleep there. Stan Michelle now with the footy. He's going to line up for his third of the day. An impressive kick.
Sadly for Loxton, I think the fizz has sort of gone out of this one now.
Yeah, I think he needed that first 5 minutes to be pretty fruitful, and it hasn't quite worked out. Jesse Will, the skipper, has missed a lot of footy this year, coming off for a breather.
I think the Tigers had a fair dip in that first 3 to 5 minutes, as you said, but which did see him get a bit more forward entry, but
well, they had a bit of the play, but yeah, again, it's been the story of the day. They've had a bit of it, but it hasn't really resulted in much, and it's credit to Barmera's defence. But DeMichelle now, kick is on the way. Geez, that looks pretty good off of the boot. Fist pump, 3 goals, DeMichelle leading all comers. That's a fair old snag from that pocket. Lockie about 40 metres out, fair angle. He's done quite well, and that is probably going to seal Barmera Monash a spot in the finals this year. A remarkable turnaround, given last year the only team they could knock off was your boys, the Panthers. I think that's the only game that they won all year, the 3 against Loxton North.
It was. They might have got close to burying one of them, but yeah.
It shows you what a fresh set of eyes and a couple of key ins can do, mate. They've been really impressive this year, and this is probably one of the most complete performances they put together as well. Behinds aside, I think Fraser would be pretty happy with this.
Yeah, 8 goals, 20-68, leading Loxton 2-5-17. Chris Knapp now for Loxton tries to clear this one out. He's done a mountain of work today, but unfortunately hasn't had too many going with him. So Barmera Monash now with Jamison Whitbourne with the footy. Got a free kick there, I think from an incorrect disposal. Finds Wesley. It's Dan. Just on the scoreboard or grandstand wing. Gets it back to Whitbourne. Whitbourne kicks up the line, looks for Butterworth. and sharked out of bounds. The footy, it is through Rothy, I reckon.
Yep, correct. So ball in just in front of Barmera's forward 50 now. Our pest control clock ticking down. It's been all Barmera today here at the precinct. Disappointing showing from Loxton. But you can't take anything away from the Roos. They've been borderline untouchable today. They've been fantastic.
So Knapp with the footy, punches it out of the contest. There's Raph Little. Gets his hands on it. A handball back. Rushed it was to Knapp. There's Evans. Gets it to Kasolki. Ball smothered by Drugamulla. And a couple of quick hands through Wesley. And that's going to go into the attacking 50 for Barmera Monash. Lehman the target. Can he get it back? He manages to get his second out on it after the bounce. But great bit of work there from Glenn from Loxton. And that takes the footy out of the danger zone for now. And saying that, Vanderwood, a good pickup. And the Roos are going to go on the attack again here.
Geez, having their young boys fought hard today. You can't question how much they want it. Vanderwood and Hodgson and the like, they've all been exceptional.
You know, you watch a lot of games through the year and you're just used to things happening. And one of them is just the footy getting cleared out of contests. But Barmera Monash's second, third and fourth efforts today.
Absolutely, 100%.
You can't, there's no foregone conclusion in anything here.
Yep.
Which has caught us a bit off guard, or me in fact. And there's Drugamulla, snap-on goal, but that's a minor score.
Some tunes cranking in the background here, Lockie. I think the Sponsors Day might be kicking into gear a little bit.
Well, yeah.
Probably done with the footy for now, are they, potentially?
Yeah. Tell you what, we've lucked out this year at 5RM Footy throughout the years. We've had Sponsors Day, we've had a past players, Premiership Year, we've had everything. The games we've been to this year, which has been good.
Good atmosphere. It just adds to it. And you know what? Games are being pretty well attended regardless in Riverland footy this year. And why would you not? It's been one of the best years in a long time, I would imagine. So Loxton going forward through Lockie Evans here. But Barmera, again, just set up really well. But there's a few Loxton bodies around here. They might be a sniff if they can shoot this one out of the contest. But it's been dragged in. So it'll be a ball up 30 metres out from goal for the Tigers. Looking for a consolation one here. Only kicking 2 goals for the day at home. Loxton, not what the doctor ordered at the start of the day for Luke Harder and his boys, I'm sure.
No, 17 plays 69. Loxton trailing.
Reece Lehman coming up for a breather. He's worked hard today, as he has all year. Probably gone without reward a little bit in the goals column, but he puts in 110% every week.
Yeah, the Roos haven't made the final since 2019. And 2023 is a different story.
What do you think, Lockie? Can they touch the top 2?
Oh, definitely. 100%. Definitely.
I agree.
They haven't beaten Renmark this year, but they've been in all 3 of those games, and one of them was only pinched from them right in the dying seconds.
Can they get another chance here?
Raph Little flies.
Flying half. I think it was Glenn.
No, sorry, it was, yes, Glenn, not Raph Little.
But it looks like he's given away a free kick. I think it might have potentially been a little bit unrealistic, but gives Dean Michelle a chance to kick his 4th of the day in a game that has only had 10 goals in it at all. So he's almost, if he snags this, it'll be about a third of them off of his boot. So it's a pretty impressive outing.
He's already got a couple in the contention category for the goal of the day for Surf to Suit Loxton.
Yeah, it's almost the Zach Gartrey Body of Work Award.
Yep.
Going to be given to him.
I think we could just about give him the trophy now, but he's still got to finish the game. Ball on the way. Looks all right. He was celebrating after he kicked it. Has he talked the goal umpire into it? He has. It was a real goal.
Snag City for Dean Michelle. That's fantastic work. And he wasn't deterred by the early crow before that went the wrong way. He's straight off the boot. He liked that one. And why wouldn't you? He's kicking the footy a treat today. And Barmera get their 9th of the day. 9 goals, 21 plays Loxton. 2 goals, 5 on the Aquatic Weed Control Australia scoreboard. So a comfortable lead here for the Roos. As this one ticks down, Lockie, not a lot left to go. What's the biggest takeaway? Is it more disappointing for Loxton or Barmera? Have they impressed you more? Which way do you lean?
Look, for me, I think it's Barmera Monash are a realistic chance of not only making a grand final, but you know what? I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility that they can go one more.
Be bold to rule them out. I think
they are a fair income chance this year. They're not getting to the finals by making up the numbers. is what I'm trying to say.
I think you could have said that about all three teams that are fighting it out for that top 4 spot. Loxton have shown this year what a quality side they are, but today it hasn't clicked. And Barmera have been there to capitalise, and they might get another crack at the consolation goal here through Nathan Flight. Wheels around quickly around the body. Flighty makes no mistake this time, so another one on the board to the big man in the forward 50 for Loxton. Their third of the day gives the sponsors and the ladies something to cheer about, but it's definitely a case of too little, too late for the Tigers.
Yeah, time ticking down on the Murray Pest Control clock, and there's no worries for the team from Murray's. T. Michelle's just calling to the bench and just saying, I think I'm done. Want to rest it up? Yep, he's had enough.
He's probably earned the right. Poor Reece Lehman's worked his butt off all day, and he's going to come back on. But you know what? You kick 4 goals in a low-scoring contest. It's probably afford that.
Yeah, I think in saying that, I mean, people are probably hearing the scoreline, 21 behinds, and thinking, how can you be saying Barmera and Monash are a fair income chance? You've got to put that aside for a second. You've got to think about the positives, how many times they went into their attacking 50.
The reality is they've created those chances on a different day. This could be a reverse. So it's obviously not something they're going to ignore completely, but at face value, they've had 30 scoring shots to about 8. So,
yeah,
pretty strong day.
And they've unearthed some stars this year. Aidan Hodgson, one of them, just had the footy then.
Yeah, he's one of the most promising players coming out of the Riverland at the moment. Van der Wood as well has been good today. And, yeah, they're a young side full of run, a lot of promise. Lockie, it's looking good for the future for the Roos.
Yeah, Sullivan's another one. Reece Lehman here.
They're going to get another one.
They're going to get it. Oh, no, minor score.
Oh, 22 behinds.
Jamison Whitbourne, another player we've seen a lot of today.
And a young coach, it must be said, in Fraser Sampson as well, with some fresh ideas. And locking him in early, I think, was a great move by the hierarchy at Barmera Monash, just to get a bit of momentum rolling into the weekend. And it's worked a treat because they've played like a team possessed today. Their hunt for the footy has been fantastic.
And they'll play Waikerie next week, final game of the season, regular season that is.
Waikerie will be looking to win that just to absolutely confirm their spot. So there's still a lot to play for in this last round.
Certainly is. We'll get some results of that game here at 5am this afternoon. Currently in a battle with Loxton North. The last time we heard, North had the lead, but albeit a smallish one.
Scrappy affair, by all accounts.
Yes. And that's probably another element to throw into this mix for finals, Ben, is Barmera Monash hitting form at the right time of the year.
Well, that's exactly right. You want to be really hitting your stride in the back part of this home-and-away season and rolling into finals with a bit of confidence. And, yeah, your boys North dropped a couple of games in the last 3 weeks.
If you look at Loxton North's best games, are probably the middle 5 games of the year.
Yep.
I mean, they took down Renmark. They beat Loxton pretty easy in that first and second game they played.
Renmark probably another one that are really sort of starting to hit their straps now, and no doubt Josh Vader will have them cooking come finals time. He's been there many times before, and he'll be there again this year.
So ball into the setup, and there's Spilios with the footy. Pretty dependable effort from him again today too. And that's what the thing is, this Barmera Monash side, there's no passengers.
Well, mate, I've cast my eye over the list trying to pick out some better players for after the game, and you can probably give everyone a minimum 6 out of 10 on this Barmera Monash side today, and there's not too many standout contributors. Demichelle's kicked 4 goals, but this man here actually, Jack Sullivan, has been excellent off half-back, but yeah, no obvious contenders for the best on.
For Jordan Freeman, another one with the footy just before, certainly a contender. Kicked the first goal of the day, set the tone in the ruck. Josh Mann now with Loxton with the footy, takes the ball down the western wing. Flight with the footy over the back. Can Flight run in and kick the goal? Goes wide of the pocket, makes the angle harder. Kicks to the top of the square. And Barmera Monash are going to clear this one out through Butterworth and Sampson. Looks up, finds Aidan Hodgson. He's got an absolute paddock. Turns around. Looks for Lehman. Great mark. This is a training drill for Barmera Monash now.
Yep, Lehman goes inside 450. Wesley on the lead.
Oh.
First hands to it. Might have had the arms chopped, but it's not going to matter. The ball's going to keep going, and Matt Glenn with the footy dishes a handball out. Lockie Evans with it now. Finds Salmon. Salmon got to go through the middle. Not going to die wondering despite the scoreline. So the Tigers trying to build something here. Mason Warner now with the footy smack bang in the middle of the ground. But it must be said, not a lot of movement forward of centre. Nathan Flight is someone that's trying to create something, but
Mock.
Yeah, just too strong there, the Barmera Monash defence, and Mick Mock has been at the heart of that today.
Mock with the footy, kicks over the top. I tell you what, the one thing this result will bring into footy talking circles too, Renmark and Loxton North are probably sort of seen each other as probably the other likely grand final team. I think today's result might just, just throw that one up a little bit, just quietly.
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter who makes this top four. I don't think you can underestimate anyone. I think everyone's pretty much beaten each other this year at one stage or another. I think Renmark, like we've said a couple of times today.
Oh, finally, we might have a Mark of the Day contender.
Drugamulla, I think.
Oh, that's Drugamulla. And that is a Grower Services Riverland Mark of the Day contender.
Just stuck the knee up. Didn't have to get too far off the ground, but just read it better. Oh, harder just at the end, but it's too little too late for the Tigers. The damage was done early, and Barmera Monash, as the siren goes, 9 goals, 22-76 on the Aquatic Weed Control Australia scoreboard. Plays Loxton 3-goal, 5-23. So 53-point win, if you don't mind, to the Roos on the road. And they've booked themselves a spot in the finals, Lockie Winnell.
They certainly have. It's been a big result for the Barmera Monash Roos. The Loxton Tigers still a mathematical chance, but they're going to need some big things to fall their way. We're going to go back to the Sideline View studio with Trevor Scott and find out what's happening around the grounds, and we'll wrap up this game, give out all our awards and unpack what has been a big afternoon of football here at Loxton. Trevor, back to you.